Well, joining us in the hot seat on Phoenix TV this week is defenseman Alex Dunn. Alex, welcome again to Phoenix TV.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Alex, the Phoenix have had a tough schedule of late, something like 6 games in 8 nights with cup games and league games, and that must take its toll on a player.
Yeah, it does a little bit. It definitely coming into the end here, I think guys are getting a little tired, especially the guys that went out to the All-Star game the other day. And, for us that didn't go, we had a couple days off, which was nice, and to regroup a bit and heal up our little bumps and bruises. But, when you get to the end of it, you'll see the pace slows down a little bit, and you just try to play a smart game and not so much of a run and gun, more of, just a laid back and easy game.
Now, you mentioned there not so much of the run and gun, but last night's game in Stoke, there was an awful lot of shots on goal by both sides. I think Stephen Murphy faced 33 and Kevin Wright at the other end faced a massive 51. So given that's about your 5th game in 7 nights or 5th game in 8 nights, it kind of goes against the grain of what you just said.
Yeah, Stoke plays on that big ice surface, and it opens up the game a lot. And, I think when we play against them, things tend to open up there. And that's where you get a lot of those shots, and there weren't a whole lot of power plays per se, but, we got our fair chances, I suppose.
Now, looking at the run of games that we've had recently and the run of games that we're likely to have coming up, in terms of, it's not going to leave a lot of time for practice. It's going to be sort of game, day off almost now for the next couple of weeks. How do you prepare yourself physically in terms of what you eat, in terms of your protein intake and carbohydrate intake? Because I'm sure that's something that the fans would really like a little bit of an insight into.
Yeah, well, personally I try to eat like a pasta meal before games, just something light and, settles the stomach pretty good. As far as like on your days off, I'll try to eat like a chicken dinner or something like that if I can. But it's tough a lot of times when you're on the road and, like last night after the game, there's not a whole lot of choices. We had choice of KFC or McDonald's, so you're eating fried chicken or a greasy burger, but you try to eat as healthy as you can, just kind of keep yourself in shape and not try to get yourself too down.
Are you one of the guys that calorie counts? Do you keep some kind of a record on what your intake is?
No, not at all. Usually during a season you don't really think about it a whole lot because you burn so much, you're playing so much, and you're doing so much during the season that you burn everything off, and you tend to lose 10-15 pounds of weight throughout a season. A lot of guys do.
What about the fluid intake, Alex? I mean, apart from the odd beer every now and again after a victory, what sort of things do you tend to drink to compensate for the loss of fluid, which must be immense?
Yeah, a lot of guys drink their Gatorade or Powerade. I like to drink water when I can, a lot of water, especially after games. We have some juice on the bus. I'll drink a bottle of juice and a bottle of water, just to kind of get it back, especially if we have a game the next day. That's the big thing, just your water and juices when you can.
Now, of course, you just had your parents over for a couple of weeks. How tempted was it to get Mum doing some cooking?
No, it was all right. She cooks enough when she's at home, so I gave her a break of that. We always go out to eat a lot whenever they come see me wherever I'm at. So we did a lot of sightseeing and going out to different places to eat that they wouldn't get to see it back home.
And did they enjoy the time in the UK? How long were they here? A couple of weeks, was it?
Yeah, they were here for 2 weeks. They got to see a lot of stuff. They went out to York. We were down in Coventry for a few nights. Went out to where Shakespeare was born. They went to London. They shot over to Dublin for 3 nights. So, they did quite a bit, and got to see some hockey in there too. So they enjoyed their time a lot.
So it was a good little break for them, because obviously their winters are a bit tougher out in Michigan.
Yeah, they got home and there wasn't any snow, and then I just talked to them last night, and they got 3 inches of snow yesterday. So I guess back to the regular winter for them, but they really enjoyed it, and they're glad they got to come over.
Looking back now at the hockey, and once again it's Basingstoke again here in Manchester tonight, and they're going through something of a rough patch at the moment, something horrendous like a 17-game losing streak. How difficult is it for you to raise yourself against a team that's going through such a rough patch?
Well, it's tough to play against teams like that because you never know when they're going to break open. It's just a matter of time, especially them. They have so much talent on the team. that it's just bound to happen one night, and you just hope it's not the night that you're playing against them, especially if they're on a 17-game slide right now, and this is our second game against them in 2 nights. I think we played them 3 times in the last week or so. So it's going to be a tough game for us tonight. We really have to come out and come ready to play, or else they're going to hurt us.
Not so much then about the physical side, more about the mental preparation this evening.
Yeah, for sure, because especially with the way all the games have been playing, we're going to be physically down a bit, but it's going to be a mental thing, and it's not a team you can take lightly because they've been on a slide. Because if they break out, they can really do some damage, and for us it can hurt us bad because the standings and where we can finish. I think Cardiff popped ahead of us the other night. I'm not sure if they still are or not, but it's something that we have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Cardiff are a point ahead of us at the moment, but we have got a couple of games in hand on them. And then looking forward to next Thursday, it's another matchup with Newcastle. We went to Whitley Bay last week and came away with an excellent 4-1 win. Whitley Bay's a little bit of an experience, I can tell by your face. But again, it's a cup competition and another chance to get to a final. Good news for the Phoenix at the minute.
Yeah, real good. Going in, we're going to have a 3-goal, cushion going into the game. But, something you don't really want to think about. You just got to go in and play the game for the game. And, playing Whitley Bay was quite an experience for us. But yeah, it's going to be a good opportunity for us. And hopefully, we can grind through that and then get to another final.
Now, as well as the league campaign and the 2 cup competitions, we've also got the playoffs looming at the end of March. And the beard's coming on well for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm... not one for shaving. I was tried to see if I could not buy a razor all year. So far, so good. I'll just try to keep it like that. But the playoff period. I know there's not a long playoff season here, so with all these cup finals and stuff, I think it's appropriate.
And it certainly will be a very hectic schedule if the Phoenix get through against Newcastle in the Knockout Cup, as well as the 2 legs coming up in the Challenge Cup against Belfast. It really is going to be a very busy game schedule. It doesn't leave a lot of time for any practice. Is there any need for practice at this time of year?
I don't think so. I think if you don't know what you're doing right now, you're not going to learn it. As far as the systems and things like that go, and you know what to expect from a lot of teams, and a lot of the pregame meetings are pretty much the same. But just to kind of reinforce, if you haven't played a team in a while, so you know what they're going to be throwing at you, and what you got to throw back at them.
Well, I'm sure you'll be ready to throw something back at the Basingstoke Bison this evening. Whether it's the League, the Cup, the Knockout Cup, Challenge Cup, or hopefully the playoffs, good luck, Alex Dunn, for the rest of this season with the Manchester Phoenix.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.